Hello, everybody. Hope y'all are doing good out there. As y'all know, I enjoy mother of pearl knives when I can find them. If I can find a good deal on a mother of pearl case knife, I usually try to get it if I can. Because they're such pretty knives and they're unique, you don't see much else like them anymore. Now, one of my favorites is this one right here. This is a 1978 mother of pearl sleeve board. This was one I took a chance on. Had terrible pictures on it. Couldn't tell the condition, but it had a really good price. And I buffed it up, cleaned it up, and restored it. And it's one of my favorite, maybe my absolutely favorite mother of pearl knife. I like the shape of it, the look of it, and it's just a real beautiful knife. Well, the other day I was looking, as I do every now and then, look for a pearl knife, and I came across a really crazy deal. Now, you'll notice when you look at a lot of these pearl knives, especially these 079 sleeve boards, you're going to notice that a lot of these said World's Fair on the side of them. And I've always looked at that and thought to myself, well, that's silly. Why? It just ruins the look of the pearl to have a print on the side of it. And so I always said to myself, if I ever find one of them, I'd buff it right off there because it doesn't add to the value of the pearl knives. As a matter of fact, from what they sell for, I think it takes away from the value, which I completely understand. Because what makes pearl so pretty is the design in it. You don't want a print over top of the pearl, but it was a popular thing to do back in the day, I reckon. And so I've always said if I ever find one of them, I was going to buff it off. Well, I was looking for pearl knives, and I ran across this one right here. Now, y'all can see here that it's the sleeve board design again. This one is a 1982, where my other one is a 1978. But you'll see that this is the World's Fair one. It says 1982 World's Fair, and you can see that it's been kind of worn off. Now, because it was worn off, the guy that was selling this was a regular knife seller. He had lots of other pearl knives for sale also. But because this one, the World's Fair was wearing off on it, he only had $34 on this knife. I mean, that's crazy for a pearl knife. I mean, if we take a look at this, look at the blade. It's not been used. It's in perfect condition. Same thing with our secondary blade here, just perfect condition. You can see there, it's just great. But of course it looks bad with that print coming off. And like I say, I don't like that print. Even if that print was in good shape, I wouldn't want it on there. It just looks ugly on the pearl. I want the pearl to be able to shine. And this pearl has a little bit of oxidization. I think I said that right. It's oxidized. And so I'm going to buff this right off the handle here. Polish this knife up. If it needs it, give it a quick, light sharpen. And see what we can do with this beauty. As I do this, I am, of course, I'm not running my buffer very fast. I've turned it down a little bit. I try to be careful with pearl, but I've never had a problem with buffing it before. But I try to be careful, and I don't want it to get too awful hot. And this pearl, I can tell, is going to be beautiful under this print. See, that's already taken the print off, so I'm just going to keep on going here. So I'm going to go ahead and shine up the bolsters a little bit and the other side of the pearl and give it a good polish when I get done. And we'll see what she's looking like. Time to do some polishing now. What do y'all think? I'm just going to be using some of this turtle wax chrome polish. Just to give it a little more sheen, specifically on the blades. That's what I'm going for here. The blades look in excellent condition, so I didn't buff them. They didn't need it. So I'm just going to put some of that on the main blade. Let it set for a minute. I'm going to put some of this on the secondary blade. Let that set there for a minute. I really don't know if letting it set for a minute does much for it or not. But we'll see, won't we? I normally do that, and it seems to me like it just kind of shines the blade up a little bit, cleans the blade up a little bit. And I think that it's certainly worth doing. Yeah, that logo, I thought it would come off easy, and it did. It wiped right off there. I'm still going to put some more polish on this, which will bring out more sheen in the pearl. But as you can see, it's really pretty. It looks so much better without that logo. The Sleeveboard is such a clean-looking knife. I wish Case would bring it back. It would be neat to have this in like gum fuddy or amber bone and all these other patterns. Oh, it'd be a neat knife. It's not the most practical because the Peanut has a much smaller body and bigger blades. But nevertheless, it's just a really, really neat knife. And I like it a lot. And I like mother of pearl too. Because it's so unique, you just don't see it very often anymore. Now we're just going to rub all this polish off of our blade. Get a good shine on it. Do the same thing here on the other side. And this knife is stainless steel, by the way. Which I think makes a lot of sense on a knife like this. I understand carbon steel. I like carbon steel. But there's a lot of times when stainless, honestly, it just makes a whole lot of sense. Let me see if I can bring this edge around. Just here on our 1000 grit ceramic stone. I can a lot of times with Case's stainless. Of course, their stainless steel, I believe, has changed a little bit since 1982. When I think of 1982, it brings two things to my mind. Of course, the old country song, 1982. That's a great song right there. That always makes me think of that. And the other thing was, in that old movie, Napoleon Dynamite, you have Uncle Rico, and he says that his wife had left him because she was jealous, said he's living too much in 82. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Feels pretty sharp. Let's check it. Yep, shaven sharp. That's sharp enough for me. Now let's try this little pen blade. Now a case knife like this is a knife I use. It don't bring me any enjoyment to just know that I have it to set in a case. What makes it fun is to put it in your leather slip, put it in your suit coat pocket, and take it with you when you go to church and stuff like that. I wouldn't use this for a lot of tasks because it's a nice fancier knife. But for the special occasions, that's what makes a pearl knife fun. It's neat to have a knife that you carry every day, like maybe a yellow Delrin, carbon steel, Stockman, Peanut, or Trapper. You're going to have another knife like this that you pull out for special occasions or take with you when you dress up or something like that. And I think that makes it fun. You know, a lot of times we have clothes that we only wear at certain occasions, maybe a wedding or something like that. It's kind of neat to do the same thing with a knife, because a lot of times when you do that, you can connect a memory with the knife. And then someday you can give the knife away to somebody you love, and you can tell them the memory with it, or what you did with it, or where you got it, or whatever. And that makes the whole idea pretty neat. Has to get displayed. Good and sharp also. Here's a quick tip. If you're ever trying to figure out whether a knife's ever been carried before, a trick that usually works, see if there's any lint in it. If there's any lint in it, you'll know it's been in a pocket. This one didn't have any in it. Now, somebody may have cleaned it out, but most people, especially if they're not knife people, they would never think to open up the knife and look inside of it for lint. And that's the surest sign usually to tell you whether it's been in a pocket or not. Our next step now is I'm going to take this over to I've got a small drill press with a cloth wheel on it. And I'm going to take it over there, and I'm going to put a little bit of Flitz polish on this knife. And I'm going to polish it up on this drill press. This will be the next step here. Just like that. You'll have to excuse the bad lighting. It's not too great right here. And lastly, I found that this plastics polish here from McGuire's does a real good job on pearl. I don't really know why, but it tends to do a good job. So I like to put just a little bit of that on there as I finish up, and then just run it over the drill press again. And it seems to me to really give a good sheen to that pearl. So let's do that real quick. Okay, we've got it done. One of the things that makes pearl so pretty is the natural variation in the pearl. And you can see this one, it's very pretty. And of course, you're never going to have a matching front and back on pearl, but that's some of what makes it so unique and pretty. I really enjoy the natural variation you get in natural materials, whether it's bone, stag, mother of pearl. I like the natural variation, where that both sides look a little different, they have a different texture, they have a different pattern. You can see that this one, you can see the way that the grain runs in the mother of pearl. It's very, very pretty. A synthetic material, like a yellow delrin, it looks the same on both sides. Same thing with black delrin and so on. But on these natural materials, it's the variation that makes it so pretty. So, like on a case knife, I don't care if the bone is a slightly different color on one side than the other. I think that adds to the beauty of the knife. Some people like them to be matched. I'm not one of them. I don't mind if they are matched, but I don't mind if they're not either. Like I say, this is a 1982, and this is such a beautiful clip blade for a knife. It's got such a sharp tip on it. I don't know why these are called sleeve boards. Do you all know? If you do, comment down below. I'd love to know where they got that name from. Because Case isn't the only one that made the knife called this. I believe Boker had one that looked identical. Well, I may not say identical, but it looked very, very similar in mother of pearl. Here's the pin blade again, just a beautiful looking pin blade. But yeah, like I said, this one's from 1982. The other one I've got's from 1978, and they're the same knife. But it's one of my favorite patterns, and when I saw this one pop up for the price it had on it, and it's funny because it was only just a few hours away from where I live, and it got delivered the day after I bought it, which is amazing. But nevertheless, it's a super, super neat knife. Let me know down below what you think of mother of pearl knives. Would you carry one? Do you like them? Some people don't like them at all. I think they're really nice. I like them a lot better than abalone. Abalone, to me, has too much going on, and I think mother of pearl has just the right amount going on. But, of course, there are some mother of pearl knives out there that aren't pretty at all. They may not have the same color on them or the design. But this one right here has some nice color and design on it, and some nice variation, and I think it looks really good. I was pleased with how easy it was to buff the World's Fair off of the handle there. Now, I believe when this was new it would have had a black velvet box with it, but I'm not concerned about that. I don't need the black velvet box. I wouldn't keep it in it anyway. You can see that grain's beautiful in there. But nevertheless, thanks for watching, y'all. You have a good day. If you have any experience with these, let me know down in the comments. Keep your knives sharp.